disposable sieve, so estimate how much lacquer we think the table. It's actually almost too thick. So we've just put our bar top lacquer into this wee tray. It's a very short pile varnish roller that we're going to apply it with. With the lacquer, we're looking at least 3 coats, but we can go up to 5 or 6 to get it really long lasting and very durable. Once it's on there, once it's dried, it doesn't really need any maintenance. If you spill something on the table, you know, wipe it up, don't let liquid lie on any wood surface, whether it's been finished or not. The other thing we don't like is heat. So by heat, you might think a cup of tea or coffee is hot, but guess what? It really is, because it's focused heat on the base of the mug. It could be 80 degrees plus, depending on what you've got in there. It's also got the chance, if it's in a cold atmosphere, a hot mug, could be condensation that's, you know, created on the side of the mug that then rolls down and penetrates the table. So hot things always use placemats or something like that. Same even with your chosen refreshing drink. You might fancy a gin and tonic, icing, it's a warm day, you're going to get condensation down the outside of the glass. That will pool on the wood. I'll keep your eye on it. It will make the table. So what you're looking for here is a uniform thickness and coverage, and an overlap of about 10% for each. An overlap of about 10% for each bit that you do. Then just not too hard, not too soft, and your roller needs to be rotating. So you need to make sure your roller handle is allowing that to happen. It's not gummed up with other stuff you've used it for. You need to clean your handles so you work efficiently, and you need to de-lint your roller sleeve as well before you even start. You come out from a factory and have lots of bits of fluff in it, so you have to fluff it out. It's going to fall again, almost. So, as I said, this is solvent based, so the solvent reacts with the oxygen in the air, and as the solvent evaporates, it dries and hardens. So with that kind of lacquer, it's about time. So we need it to dry between coats, and that can take 5 or 6 hours, potentially more. We need to be a minimum temperature of probably about 15 degrees for things to dry properly. It can't be too cold. The reason it needs to be dry before you put it under the coat is so, in this case, the solvent doesn't react with what's underneath it and move the coat put on previously. And if you need to work on the lacquers between coats, then you need to be hard enough to do so. What I mean by work is a process we call denibbing. So as I'm putting this on, there'll be particles of dust in the air. There might be the odd bubble that's created from the roller action. A little hair might land on it, whatever. These things happen all the time. You come back, you look at your table after the first coat's dried or your second coat, and you're like, where did that come from? Well, it doesn't take much, just a door to open or something like that. But of course, you should try and be in a clean area, so there'll be nothing getting sanded in this area while this process is taking place. The denibbing is the next phase I mentioned there, and that's sanding down and preparing between coats and removing items like grains of dust, hairs or small bubbles may have formed. And you just do that with a very fine grade paper. Put a white down clean afterwards, and then you can proceed with your second coat, so on and so forth, so you're happy. Majority of the coats adding a layer, a bit more depth to it, and a bit more thickness, and appearance will improve right the way through the process. Okay, so we've got our coffee table with one a stain on it, and it's had one coat of lacquer. We're talking about denibbing and what that's all about. When you feel the surface, you can feel slightly raised bits, there might be a wee bit of dust on it, you might have picked up the odd hair and things like that. So the purpose of denibbing is to remove those contaminants, but also to create what's called a key, so the next layer will stick more effectively to the first layer. So generally we don't use sandpaper as such on wood, so we use aluminium oxide and silicon carbide, things like that, which are much more effective, a much better cut on them, and it's not just sand on paper, if you like. This is a pad, a soft pad for sanding, so no hard edges which can leave a line on the surface. And all we're going to do, this is dead simple, but really contributes to the overall finish a lot. And just a very light rub over the first coat of lacquer. Virtually always with the grain, not across the grain, not in circles, just up and down. Green microfiber cloth. Can't really see much on there, but people think they're not going to be taking off what they've already put on, and that's why they feel hesitant about denibbing, but you know, it's just a tiny fragment you're taking off. So now we're just going to put on the second coat of bar top lacquer. Same method as before, 10% overlap. You'll see colours changing again, just a little, getting more depth to it, emphasising the grain more. This product works well for me, and the particular selection of the roller sleeve, etc. does as well. It always produces good results, but a lot of that's through trial and error, trying different products. We've got a sample board where we've been mixing colours, mixing lacquers, mixing stains, putting them on before we put them on the actual piece. That's all part of it.